What would happen if you invested just $100 every single month? Not $10,000, not $1,000, just $100. Most people hear that and instantly dismiss it. That's too small. That won't change anything. That's not how you get rich. But what if that belief is exactly what's keeping people broke? Because today, we're not just answering a simple question. We're exposing a hidden truth about money. A truth that separates people who stay stuck from people who quietly build wealth. And by the end of this video, you'll understand exactly what happens when you invest $100 every month. Not just mathematically, but psychologically. Because the real transformation isn't just in your bank account. It's in how you start thinking. Let's begin.
Year 1. You invest $100 every month. That's $1,200 in a year. Nothing crazy. At this point, it feels pointless. Your account barely moves. The growth almost invisible. And this is where most people quit. Because humans hate slow progress. We want results now. But wealth doesn't work like that. Year 3. Now you've invested $3,600. Maybe it grows to around $4,000, $4,500, depending on returns. Still not life-changing. Still not impressive. And again, most people lose interest here because the effort feels bigger than the reward. But something important is happening. You're building a habit, and habits are more powerful than money. Year 5. Now you've invested $6,000. With growth, maybe it's around $7,000, $8,000. Still small, still boring. But this is where the shift begins. Because now your money starts working. Not a lot, but enough to matter. Now let's fast forward. Year 10. You've invested $12,000. But now something changes. With an average return of 8%, you could have around $18,000 to $20,000. Wait, you only invested $12K, but you have $20K? That extra $8,000
came from time. This is your first real exposure to compound growth. And this is where it gets dangerous. Because now you realize something. The game isn't about how much you invest. It's about how long you stay in the game. Year 15. Now things get interesting. You've invested $18,000, but your portfolio? Around $35,000, $40,000. Now your money is doing real work. Some years, it grows more than what you invested. Think about that. You put in $1,200, and your money grows by $2,400 plus. You're no longer the main contributor. Your money is. Year 20. You've invested $24,000. But now, you're sitting at $60,000, $70,000. This is where most people get shocked, because the numbers start accelerating, not slowly, exponentially. Year 25. Now you've invested $30,000. But your portfolio? Around $100,000 plus. This is the moment everything clicks, because now you see the system. You realize it was never about big money. It was about consistency. Year 30. You've invested $36,000. But now you're approaching $150,000 to $180,000. Let that sink in. You turned $100 per month into nearly $200,000. And you never needed a high salary, a lucky break, a viral business. Just consistency. But we're not done. Because here's where it becomes powerful. Most people start late. What if you started earlier? If you start at 20 versus 30, that difference alone can cost you hundreds of thousands. Because time is the real multiplier. Not effort, not intelligence, time. And here's the brutal truth. People don't fail because they invest too little. They fail because they start too late or quit too early. Now let's go deeper. Because this isn't just about money. It's about identity. When you invest every month, you become someone different. You stop thinking short term. You stop chasing quick wins.
You stop reacting emotionally to money, and you start thinking like an investor. That shift alone changes everything. Because once you see money growing without your effort, you stop trading time for money mentally. You start building systems, and systems create wealth. Now let's talk about the biggest mistake. People think, I'll start when I earn more. But that's backwards. Because if you can't invest $100 now, you won't invest $1,000 later. Income doesn't build discipline. Discipline builds income. And that's the difference between people who dream about wealth and people who build it. Now imagine this.
Two people. Person A waits 10 years, then invests $500 a month. Person B starts now, invests $100 a month. Guess who wins? In many cases, person B. Because time beats amount every single time. And this is what most people never understand. Small money, invested consistently, becomes big money. But only if you stay patient. Because the beginning feels slow, painfully slow. But the ending, explosive. And that's why most people never get there. They quit in the slow phase. They never reach the acceleration phase. And that's where the real money is made. So what actually happens if you invest $100 every month? You don't just grow money. You build a machine, a system that works even when you don't. And over time, that system becomes unstoppable. But only if you stay consistent. Because consistency is the most underrated superpower in finance. Not intelligence, not luck, consistency. And once you understand that, you stop asking, how much do I need to start? And you start asking, how long can I stay in the game? Because that's the only question that matters. If this changed how you see money, subscribe. Because this channel isn't about hype, it's about truth. And once you understand the truth, you stop chasing money and start building it.